Hello, everybody. It is 11 a.m. PST. What is that? Pacific Standard Time, I believe. Anyway, it is 11 a.m. on the west coast of America. And, well, if you're new and you haven't been here before, this is Spitfire. Now, obviously, there's a lot of PLAP Academy members here, so you do know what this is. And yeah, this is our studio, Spitfire. We have an SSL 4000. We have a variety of different speakers that we're rotating at the moment while we listen to lots of different stuff. I have a ton of hardware I built up over the years, but like many of us, I mix either in the box or hybrid. So every week inside of the Produce Like a Pro Academy, we listen to mixes from our members. Now, inside the Academy itself, it has, I think, about 100 multi-tracks, maybe more now, actually, because there's members submitted multi-tracks as well. But 100 multi-tracks, and there's breakdown lessons of how to mix them and all that kind of fun stuff. And so 3 weeks of the month, we go and review the mixes of the multi-tracks in there. And then one day a month, we do user mixes, which is what this is. So these are either artists who are inside of there, producers that are inside of the Academy, engineers, mixers, you name it. And they are inside of the Academy giving us their amazing work. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to listen to our Academy members mixes. So who do we have? We have Tom, we have Andre, we have Ozzy Butler, we have Bill Hawkins, we have John Chambers, Darko, Andy, hey Andy, Delvin, Joey. Happy New Year, by the way, everybody. Yes, a good point. Happy New Year. And what we'll do is we'll do 3 membership giveaways during the stream. So we'll give away 3 one-year memberships. If you're already a member, you'll get an extra year for free. And if you're a lifetime member, of which we have a few hundred lifetime members these days, we'll give you any courses that you want from ProMix Academy. I don't know, up to a couple $100. We'll just give you prizes because we're good like that. Anyway, Chris Ibbotson, how are you? How Blue Wave Dave? Hey Glenn. Hey Ron. Hi Mike. Hey Jerma. David Harris. Joe. Greg, hey Bryn. So first of all, I'd love to know, before we get started, where is everyone based? I know many of you, and I know what country and state and city, etc. you're in. Where is everyone based? Let us know. Let's get to know each other a little better here. Hey Sergio. Hey Thomas Ling. Croatia. Oh, hey Peter in Croatia. Joe in Kansas. Andres in Germany. Ray Mears is in SoCal. Hey Sheila. Hey Patrick Larson. Oakland. Center of the universe, says Jens. That makes sense. If we know Jens, he's definitely the center of his own universe. Axel's still in Ireland. Finland. Pittsburgh. Sweden, Latvia, hey Yanis, Cambridgeshire, Tunisia, lovely, New Zealand, wow, I'm from Peru, but right now you're in Charlotte, North Carolina, and Karen says she's in Laurel Canyon. In fact, actually, she's my neighborito. She's a neighbor. All the best. Happy New Year to you too. Ed Kraus, how are you? Jose, Slovenia. Wonderful. Finn in UK, Sacramento. Anton is in Moscow. The Forest of Dean. Wow. Ontario. Lebanon. Hi there in the Lebanon. Hello, Lucille in Italy. Sherman Oaks. I didn't know you were in Sherman Oaks. You're probably my neighbor. Down the street from you in Riverside. Chile. Long Island. Thank you, Drew. Oh, is Melissa there? Hey, Melissa. And Jörg. All right. Let's get going. can you put it onto the mix? Who we got first? We got Christian Gilman, who is a long-term, incredible member of our community. And Christian said, here is a mix of my song, Pick Up the Phone. It's Iris and me singing and playing guitar. So Christian is an artist and a producer. And he and I think it's his wife, sorry, but he and Iris do a lot of music together. He says, I also used a very funny and old 32-bit VST called a Mini Erhu. A very special Chinese sound. It's a cheesy love song. I dearly love it. Okay, so this is Christian's song. As you can see, people got involved there and also give comments. That's one of the greatest things, obviously, about this incredible community we have. All right, I'm going to give it a listen.
I never tried so hard on you. I couldn't get my feelings through. Forgot how much you mean to me. You're just about to set me free. It's gonna be a lonely place. I'm sitting here and watch your face on a photograph you left here behind. You don't pick up the phone. I know that you're home, waiting for someone else. I can't win that fight. I know it ain't right. I need to be with you. You said you're gone. I wasn't sure. I might not be known for this. You could have sensed it in my kiss. Give me just a chance to say goodbye. You don't pick up the phone. I know that you're home, waiting for someone else. I can't win that fight. I know that ain't right. I need to be with you. You said you're gone. I wasn't sure.
Firstly, an absolutely beautiful song. Now, Christian, this is one of your songs, is that correct? Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I love the way that you and Iris harmonize. I love the way you sing together. So it's subtle things. So for me, it sounds like there's, a judicious use, sometimes a little bit too much kind of compression going on. In some ways, I like it because it feels a little bit more organic, or even, I hate this word, but I'm going to use it, analog. It definitely feels warm and enveloping. There's a lot of mumbo jumbo with people talking about, like, we never used to compress. Oh, heck yes, there was a lot of compression going on. I've worked with so many huge producers when I was coming up as an engineer that I couldn't believe how much compression was going on, that guys and girls that were making records in the 70s, etc. I don't mind compression. It's just when you hear it really evidently, when it gets a little bit too much. I think on the acoustic at the front, it's just on the verge for me. Have a listen. It's subtle. I'm probably being a little, it just chokes out occasionally. I think you just need to nudge your attack time around a little bit. Maybe the release needs to be slightly faster. It might be that the release is just too slow, that it's still holding down the signal a little bit. It's really, really subtle. And probably a lot of people aren't going to hear that. What I'm talking about here is probably a little bit too minuscule of a detail. And in many ways, like I said, that audible compression is indicative of, some great music. You think of Rhiannon, the bam, 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 bam. You hear the compressor. Sounds like an LA3A or something like that it just has that sort of feel. And I like that. There's a lot of and you hear like a Fairchild squashing on the front of Under the Bridge, which is 91 Red Hot Chili Peppers. You hear that electric kind of pang, and you hear the compressor on it, and it's fantastic. So there's a bit of that I do like. I just feel like if this was my mix, which I think this is very, very close to being a great mix, I would just see if I could just play a little bit with the compression on it, because there's also a bit of the cymbal kind of going on occasionally, which gets a little bit distracting for me.
Give me just a chance to say goodbye. You don't pick up the phone.
It's very, very beautiful song, though. Very beautiful song. It's subtle. I mean, there's a lot of people. This would be, an absolutely phenomenal mix. And to be honest, production-wise, I love it. It's gorgeous. Christian is obviously a fantastic acoustic guitar player, has done many, many great things. I think we did a mix competition a couple of years ago that Christian came second in, isn't that correct? And the person that chose Christian wasn't a member of our community. It was another artist judging, and that's just to show how talented Christian is.
Give me just a chance to say goodbye. You don't pick up the phone. I know that you're home, waiting for someone else.
It's such a gorgeous song, though. I could see this in a lot of film and TV. I just think I believe strongly for sort of modern music now, people want things to have a little bit more separation. This has got a very organic, again, I'm going to use the word, sort of analog thing where everything's glued, kind of a little bit glued. But I think now we're in a sort of place now where people want a little bit more separation, especially in a modern setting. But it is a gorgeous song, gorgeous performance, and wonderful work. Now, a lot of people are commenting on that snare. The snare is wonderful. I love that kind of little kind of bottom snare, but a little bit of body to it. It's gorgeous.
You don't pick up the phone. I know that you're home, waiting for someone.
Yeah, Joe says, I would never, ever be upset by the feedback that my mix sounds analog. Nice work, Christian. Absolutely. Yeah, the reason why I hesitate to use the word, because it's that sort of, it actually becomes almost a trolling word where people want to be superior and say, I wish it was more analog, So I don't like using the word because I grew up on tape. Actually, sitting over there is a Studer A80. A 2-inch 24-track machine. So I grew up on tape. I made my first albums on tape. I've made albums on ADATs. I've made albums inside of Pro Tools, inside of Cubase, Nuendo. I did an album with Paul Gilbert about 15 years ago, the incredible guitar player Paul Gilbert, and he worked in Nuendo, and it sounds amazing. In fact, most of his albums, I think, I haven't spoken to him recently, maybe he still uses Nuendo. But the point is like whether it's DAW or tape, I don't believe in that sort of superiority thing. But what I do like is that this is glued beautifully, but I think it just needs to back off a little bit on the compression so there's a little bit more kind of openness to it. Just a bit. Not a lot. This is really close. It has a very classic, timeless feel, and it's a great, great song. Wonderful work, Christian. So we'll do another one, then we'll do a giveaway. So we're going to do 3 giveaways. So next up is Stephen Courst. Stephen's another wonderful member of our academy. Stephen says, hi everyone, here's a version of a song I wrote sometime around 2014 to 2015. Recording the tracks using Sonar Platinum, mixing using Studio One and Reaper. Drums are done using Addictive Drums 2 with me on the rest of the guitars, bass and vocals. As always, I greatly appreciate any feedback and for anyone having a listen. We'll also like to collaborate with anyone who has any ideas of how to improve the song and contribute additional tracks. Oh, so this one's from ages ago. You went and dug this up from May.
They submitted it, actually.
Oh, resubmitted it.
Yes.
Oh, I see. So that's great. Yes, what we always say to Academy members, Eric has no favoritism here. So if you haven't been featured and you're an Academy member, send Eric an email to eric@producelikeapro or eric@eric.eric. I think you need to get that. eric@eric.eric.
Get that right now.
Yeah. All right. So Stephen Courst, here we go. Another incredibly talented member of our Academy. What do I want to know? I want to know for everybody here, especially non-Academy members, do you play an instrument? And if so, what are the instruments that you play? I'd love to know.
Something I don't something that I see. Behaviorally speaking, I'm so happy. Maybe it's just me who's shaking. It's not you, I'm only saying. Okay, I'll just shut up now. I don't know what is wrong with me. It's not something that I see. Behaviorally speaking, I'm so happy.
Firstly, Adam's here. Adam from Hot Pole Studios. Please say hi. Adam is a badass, I think is what Americans would say. We've done a lot of video content together, and we should be doing a heck of a lot more very soon. Adam is really great. If you haven't checked out his channel, I'm sure many of you already subscribed. Go to Hop Pole Studios. Check him out. He's super talented. He's another multi-instrumentalist and producer and engineer and mixer. And we have a Reaper course with him, which is unbelievable. And we have more stuff coming up. So please go and check him out. Okay. Stephen, I love it. It's so, for me, it's kind of Pavement meets kind of mid-90s American kind of indie. I really love the sort of honesty, the sort of homegrown feeling of it. Is really fantastic. It feels like an artist who really lives, eats, and breathes their music. Like there's nothing phony about this. It's really super honest, and I love that. Adam pointed out, and I'm a little bit with him as well, is that the drums do feel kind of a little, not Pavement lazy, but just sort of like not pushing with the instruments. There's a little bit of that. If you listen to Pavement, go back to like, I want to arrange life so I can settle down. There's something about the sloppiness in those drums which is just super appealing. There's always that thing. Now, obviously, he's using addictive drums, which I use as well. I use addictive drums too a lot, especially if we want to put in a different snare and try and swap it out. We do use addictive. And there's a limitation with all of these drum softwares, with only one or two exceptions, that you can't quite get that swing and that groove. What I tend to do when is I program it by playing it, and then I'll move things around a little bit if necessary. But on the whole, I love the honesty of this track. Jeff's saying it's a little Matthew Sweet. Yeah, it's got that whole... thank you, Quint. It's got that whole kind of honest sort of, written and produced and performed by thing that is fantastic. For the mix, there's definitely a little bit more separation, but I'm with Adam. I feel like the only thing I would change is the drums. I'm going to plonk it in the middle about here.
Nothing's even with you or me. I don't know what is wrong with me. It's not something that I see.
The kick itself is not really defined enough. The weird thing is, the groove to me, and this is just personal taste, the groove to me should actually half time the snare there. So that that's fine there, but on this second half, It's weird. It actually feels like that. I don't gonna da 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 da. I feel like it could actually open up there, and half time the drums. I think the drums need a little bit more sort of thought outness. Does that make sense? And as JC's saying, you can barely hear the kick. The kick doesn't have to be metal. You don't need to boost 7K and above to get some snap on it. You're fine with a 1.5 to 2.5 kind of snappiness for the high end on a kick. It just needs a little bit more thump. If you want to keep it to the 80 to 100 area, you could do that, but it definitely needs, And Adam says, is it too polite sound-wise? Even a lot of Tom Petty-ish stuff has a more saturation of the drums and they sit forward and drive the band. Yeah, I think it could definitely have a little bit more like, hey, we're a rock band. But I do get what Stephen's doing. There's definitely more of a kind of a pavement, American indie kind of sound to it. I don't know if that's necessarily what Stephen was going for, but that's what it feels like to me. I would take it even further in that direction. And I think a lot of what I like about the better sounding 90s records is that you could hear the room. And now, obviously, with Addictive, you're not using a drum room, but see if you can fake that. I think what I would do is I would take Adam's suggestion of getting a bit more aggression in the drums so they're a bit like more edgy, so a bit more point on the kick. But at the same time, put it in a room. Put it in the room, Stephen says, I struggled with the groove of the drums and the sound with this song. It was added after the recording of some of the other main parts. Totally understand. You know what I would do? I would keep this mix, be happy with it, mute the drums, just get out your keyboard or your drum pad and just try playing some ideas down. Like, I don't know what da 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 ba da da ba ba da da. It's great. I only heard it once and I remember it. But da 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 ba da ba. I think it should be that kind of feel. And then the build stuff. Da 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 da. It's like a dun dun da 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 da. And it doesn't have to be super aggressive. It could be lightly played on the floor for that kind of build stuff. And then half time it. Just have some fun with it. I think one of the things as musicians who are not particularly good drummers, which I'm not a very good drummer, but I am a musician and I'm a pretty good musician. So what I do is I just try to play a drum part instinctively, and sometimes that's just getting a kick and snare on some drum pads and just trying some ideas out, finding the floor tom, the rack tom, and just doing it. And you can put the hat in afterwards if you like. You can put cymbals in afterwards. But just getting that groove, having some fun with it. So keep your mix up, mute the drums, and try some other ideas. Just try to get into the groove, and the pacing of the vocal is super, super important. Some of the best songs ever recorded, the drummer is playing the song, like the groove. I always use, grapevine. Dum, 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 just boom, boom. It's like that boom, 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 boom. The drummer is playing the song. Ringo was the best at doing that. He would do like bum, bum, boom, 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 da, da, boom. So there's a period in the 60s where some of the drumming is some of the best drumming ever recorded, because it was coming out of a time of, they were kids in the 50s and the 40s, and all of the great drummers were jazz drummers, and jazz drummers, as we all know, play the song. They hit with the vocal melody, they hit with the instrumentation, and they play the song. Now we're in a world where everybody plays like a groove, and then they write a song over it. There is a place in the middle where I think, Stephen, you could have the groove, but also play the song. I love your song. It's super honest. It's fantastic. But yeah, as I say, we are called Produce Like a Pro, so we don't always spend all our time talking about mixing. Mixing the mix. There's a lot of production stuff in this. All right, great. Next up is Andy Tullis. Andy and his wife are also super talented and do a lot of great stuff in here. I think before we get started, let's do a giveaway. So this is for a year's membership to the Academy. If you're already a member, you'll get an additional year. If you're a lifetime member, you can choose any course you like over at Pro Mix Academy. So what do we want to know? All right. Do you have a microphone? What is your favorite microphone? What is your favorite microphone? I want you to tell us a microphone you've actually used. What is your favorite microphone? It could be a 57. It could be an 87. It could be I don't know. Could be the Lewitt. Could be an AKG. Could be an Audio Technica. It could be Austrian Audio. Could be Mojave. It could be Royer. I just want to know, what is your favorite microphone? Favorite microphone? Lots of 57s. Lewitt LCT, lots of 57s. And we're going to listen to Andy's. Just keep going. Let us know what your favorite microphone. And Eric, at random, at the end of this song, will choose somebody at random. All right, Andy says, howdy, Warren, Eric, and all you wonderful players. Here's a song I wrote and Sergio Maggi used his genius production skills to help finish it. The title of the song is Little Ol' Me. It's a rock song in which Linda sings brilliantly. There you go, husband and wife again. Our band's name is Ocean Highway, and we had a great 2021, releasing one song every month for 9 months. Congratulations. We had the honour of having other plappers join in with the song creation. Michael Garding, Michael's an incredible saxophone player. Dan Stenhouse and Tony Falbo, to be exact. Tony plays the bass on this song here. We would be honoured if more members would like to join in as well. Hope that you like what you hear. Turn it up. Lead vocals is Linda, drums is Sergio, guitar Andy, bass Tony Falbo, production mix engineer Sergio Maggi. Wonderful. It looks like Christian got in and helped out, and so did Dirk. And wow, all in the last couple of days. Fantastic. Let's give it a listen. And don't forget, let us know, what is your favourite microphone? And one that you've actually used. Sheila's Lewitt. After the end of this song, Eric will choose a winner at the end of the song. Here we go. Annie Tallis and Linda with Little Ol' Me.
Now I'm drowned in
Fantastic. It's a lot of fun. And I agree with everybody. Sergio's production is really cool. And the drum sounds are wonderful. Now, wait there. Well, the drums were programmed, weren't they? I can't remember now. You think after all that, we've had so many conversations about drums. I think the drums are winning really well here. Really, really great. I love Linda's voice. There was a couple of comments that occasionally it got a little surrounded by the music, was a little bit could have come out. I would say we walk a fine line when you're doing rock, especially more of a traditional or classic rock, which I suppose this probably leans towards, rather than like modern rock and stuff like that. Vocals tend to be a little bit more in a track. If you go back and listen to the Stones, for instance, you know, go into a go. It's not like, it's not sitting that, you know, satisfaction. I can't get, no, it's in the track. It's not sitting like 6 dB above it like a modern rock record. Like a modern rock record now, vocals are pop orientated. They're super, super loud. And it tends to be aggressive kick and snare and vocals. And then the guitars are maybe a little subdued, unless you're listening to something which is really super specialist. And that's fine. But I think with a classic rock song like this, I do agree. There's a couple of moments that maybe what I would suggest, Andy, is you go in there and you do some automation, work on Linda's vocal a couple of times. But I think in general, I feel like it's the right kind of thing for the genre. We have to be as producers and engineers and mixers, we have to be very aware of this stuff. It's like we want to sound contemporary, which is something we talk a lot about in the Academy, I know, is like sounding contemporary, but at the same time, you know, having a nod to the audience that's actually going to listen to your music. You know, it doesn't make any sense if you're, you know, a 15-year-old singer to make a record which sounds like it was made by a 50-year-old. But it also doesn't make any sense for a 50-year-old to try and sound like a Disney artist. You know what I mean? So it's all about like, how do we get into this place where we are modern enough, but also have a nod to where we come from? And I think in this instance, it's just subtle things. I think doing some automation on the vocals would make a lot of sense, but it doesn't need to be louder overall. It just needs to be automated in certain places. I think the drum sound is great. I agree. I think Sergio did a great job of that. So have a listen to one more part. Thanks, Jens. Oh, yes, please, everybody, please hit the like button. And who won, Eric?
Arvin Guitar.
Sorry?
Arvin Guitar with the U87.
U87. Did you post it?
Just right now.
Just right now.
I want to let the discussion go through.
Oh, it's okay. I haven't seen your post.
Oh,
Here it is.
It might be a little bit late.
Arvin Guitar. Hey, Arvin. So yeah, just please email Eric at Eric. No, please email Eric at Produce Like a Pro, and you just won a free membership, a year's membership to the Academy. Yeah. So Leo's saying check the overlapping frequencies where the vocal seems less present. You may find a few tweaks will help. Yeah, I mean this is sort of the conversation. Great point. This is the conversation with Christians as well. Is like getting that balance between things blurring in a good way and things blurring in a way that maybe, you know, covers things. I remember when I first started mixing in the box or using a DAW in a hybrid way, one of the things that I did too much of was literally construct like almost like jigsaw puzzles. And here I was doing like Tom Petty style music at the time. You know, this is pre The Fray, but I was working with bands like The Gallery and even bands before that. And what I ended up doing was like doing this mathematical jigsaw puzzle kind of stuff. And it was cool, but it sounded very disjointed and it didn't sound glued and it didn't sound cohesive. And then I made records where I almost didn't EQ or compress at all. And that was cool if it was really super organic music. But, you know, it's great. If you're Al Schmidt, God rest his soul, he was one of the greatest in the no EQ, no compression, just put the mic in the right place and obviously have an amazing song, an amazing room, amazing gear, an amazing artist. And he knew how to do that. If you're doing a modern rock record, you're also going to be dealing with the reverse. You're trying to get something to just jump out of the speakers with a band with maybe super, super heavy guitars. So the skill lies in knowing when to do this, you know, and to do this. No, the courses aren't only for rock music. I don't know what was chosen here by Eric. Did you do anything that wasn't rock?
It's all random, so
It's all random, says Eric. But no, there's plenty of stuff that isn't rock. We have Matt Weiss has done 3 or 4 courses with us on hip hop inside the academy. So there's like 4 hip hop courses. We have a film and TV compositional course from a really, really amazing guy. We have all kinds of different stuff. We have a lot more stuff coming on all kinds of genres. Of course, there's classical stuff in there. There's all the stuff that we do on the channel, which you can also obviously put your mixes up inside of the academy as well. Anyway, God bless it. But yeah, I think Andy did a good job here. It's just finding that balance between you want the vocal to sit out front in a way, have its own space, but you also want it to sound like what he's going for here, which is a more classic rock thing. But Sergio did a wonderful job, particularly on the drum sound. All right, next up is Mark K. Anders with Corsair. And Mark says, hello, friends. Hope you enjoy. Instrumental version. I plan to produce this track with vocals too, as soon as I can find the right singer to do it. All feedback is welcome. Looks like Ludo got in there and helped. And also Jeremy and Andy. And also Mike. Great. That's what I love about the community, is that everybody gets in there and helps each other. All right, here's Corsair, an instrumental track by Mark K. Anders. First of all, absolutely love the track. There's a few people mentioning Zeppelin Celebration Day. Definitely hear that as well. I think all of the parts, the production is absolutely fantastic. It is, for me, a mixed thing. Again, I hear a lot of kind of pumping, compression. I want the guitars to be a little bit more left and right forward. They feel a little bit like the low end, particularly, and a lot of people mention it, the kick being so boomy with that extra kind of rumbling low end on the kick. It's not so much a volume of the kick, it's a volume of the low frequencies on the kick. You know, I don't mind the knockiness of it. But for me, I'd want to hear a little bit more snare personality. At the moment, it's very driven by the compression on the snare. That pa, 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 pa is okay, but I want to hear a little bit of ring. I'd like to hear at least 5% more bottom snare. It doesn't have to be a bottom snare dominated, but at the moment, the snare's very one-dimensional at the moment. It's just very pa, 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 pa. It's just the same consistent sound. So give me a little bit more personality to the snare. Control the low end on the kick. What I might suggest is actually getting hold of a transient designer or something of that ilk and just shortening the sustain of the kick so it's not like continually like, you know, just kind of woo, 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 you know. Yeah, Mika says the monotone of the snare needs some spice. Yeah, it just needs a little bit more personality. Like a little bit of room, a little bit of bottom snare, a little bit of ring, just a little ing on it, just a tiny bit. Just something that makes it go, oh yeah, there's more personality, rather than a sort of one-dimensional pap, pap. Okay, and sustain on the kick. And then guitars, to me, just need to be more forward. They need to be more left and right, focused, you know, some LCR going on that. Just, you know, but all the parts are there. The song is fantastic. And Mark, you know, revisit the song when you have a vocal on it. I think it'll be absolutely phenomenal. Great work. Great work. All right, next up is Aussie Battler. Yeah. Any Academy members here, singers want to get involved and sing? Please hit the like button. We're going to do a couple more mixes and we're going to do another giveaway, so stay tuned for that. Please hit the like. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. It's always wonderful to get new subscribers. Thanks, Jose. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's a great song, though, isn't it? It's a really cool song. Good day, Plappers. I know Warren has been working on his German, so this is my latest dad punk creation. Might help. The joy of another person's misfortune. The joy derived from another person's misfortune is a statement of proliferance and popularity of online videos of people getting hurt. I stay away from that. Or just a fun song with the train. You decide. I'm going to go with that one. This one features Addy from Hit the Road Music handling the German in the choruses. Ah, wunderbar. Once again, my folly Aussie AJ supply the drums, and everything else is my fault. Here's the WAV file. Would really appreciate any feedback. This is going to be released into streaming as part of my EP on January 26th, Australia Day. Cheers. Fantastic. Here's Aussie Battler.
I know I can make the jump. Can't no one say that I'm a chump. Who needs to practice or do the math? good time and be a hit. The posted speed is just a guide, not meant to hold back my cool ride. But it's fun to drive with no restraint. What's that I hear? Oh no, a train! Schadenfreude. I know it's wrong. Schadenfreude. Can't look away. Schadenfreude. The joy's too strong. Schadenfreude. 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 To see you pay.
Firstly, sorry for your loss, Mika. That's terrible, terrible news. Just do me a favor, email Eric at producelikeapro.com, and we'll get you into the academy. I'm sure there's lots of incredible people in here, and it's a really incredibly wonderful, supportive place, and it means a lot to me. I will say, without getting all overly emotional, we started Produce Like a Pro because I felt like there wasn't really anybody who was, and there still isn't anybody who actually does this for a living, who has, you know, a community built around music. There's lots of people that are professional YouTubers, of course, and then they do things like this. But when we started it, we were like, hey, this is what we do every day. Eric and I come into the studio and make music all day, and why don't we do something on YouTube? So it's fantastic that we've been able to, you know, help have a community. And one of the biggest things for me is just getting good people in that help each other and support each other. It's not a money grab. It's not all like, it's like, I'd much rather have good people helping each other. The one thing I always say is, like, I was at school, I was the odd man out. I had, my grandfather gave me an AM radio when I was a little kid, and I had a mono earbud. Remember those really cheap ones? I think they had like crystals, like they had like certain jewels on them, like 17 jewel AM radio. I mean, this thing was already 40 years old when he gave it to me. And I used to sit there. I had long hair, which was really weird in the 80s because nobody had long hair unless they were into metal. And at my school, everybody was into, like, you know, they had all the cool kind of 80s haircuts. I didn't. And I used to like put the earbud up through my shirt, you know, and put it in there and then brush the hair over it and sit there and listen to AM radio. And the reason why I bring that up is because there was like 2 or 3 of us at my school that were like me. And, you know, so what I thought we'd produce like a pros, I was like, let's create our own playground. You know, there's no elitism in here. There's no experts. You know, let's just be a whole bunch of guys and girls that can, like, be like me, you know, like we get together. And because the wonderful thing about the internet is, like, that 1 or 2 kids from every school all over the world can now all get to hang out and be geeky and talk about music and love, you know, do videos on Raikuda one day and then, you know, Wes Montgomery the next, and Gary Newman the day after, you know what I mean? It's like, not like, oh, I'm going to, like, just do the big bands and be, you know, I'm not like that. It's like, I love music, and it can be Gary Newman, or it can be Wes Montgomery, or it can be Raikuda. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. And it to me, that's why we did this. So Mika, hit Eric up. We'll give you a free membership. You get to hang out with all these lovely people here. You know, this is an amazing community, and it means a lot to all of us to be able to help each other out. All right, you guys and girls, that was wonderful. That was really good. I really enjoyed it. I want to go back to this section here. Hold on one second.
Palestine. Schadenfreude. I know it's wrong. Schadenfreude. Can't look away. Schadenfreude. The joy's too strong. Schadenfreude. To see you pay.
I think I think the only thing for me is there's just a little bit of a disconnect between the bass and everything. It's a really good part, but it gets a little loose at times that fights the groove. I think maybe just a judicious edit here and there on a few things, just to get it to lock a bit better. I like I like the groove. I like the idea. I like the movement, but it gets just a little sloppy. Yeah, Pierce says, yes, the bass seems a little bit separate. It just needs a little tweaking here and there. Do not go in there, obviously, and chop every single note up into eighth notes and make it all fit absolutely perfectly. That's not what I'm saying, but just kind of, just nudge it around a couple of places. If it just feels like it's just a little late, a little early here, just a handful of nudges here and there, just to make it groove. Yeah, I love it. So, yeah, Death Ruddle says, I was part of the misfit group at school. That's really depressing. Instead of supporting each other, we constantly fought each other to get to be the bottom of the misfit groups. Yeah, well, the thing is with me is like, when I was like 15, I got into Flux of Pink Indians and Crass. Remember those? Anybody in the UK? And my favourite band before that was Queen. And I was a huge Beatles fan when I was 13. And, my point is like music, that we just kind of like pull from all different kinds of things. I remember buying Neat, Neat, Neat as a single when I was probably too young to even understand who the Damned were. It's like, and then I had like, The Tide Is High, I remember by Blondie was played incessantly. And then all the Police records when I was a little kid, it's such a great blending. And then, of course, I'm in bands, as a teenager in early 20s in the 90s. Now it's the 90s, and I'm like playing, almost like indie rock. I was an indie rock band. And then my point is like music. And I don't believe in cliques and elitism, kind of the opposite, because that was the thing that was really frustrating as a kid. And that's what's so great about our community. There's no wagging fingers here. There's no rants. There's nobody like, music sucks. I'm just not like that, And yes, I can read and write music, and I do understand modes and stuff like that, but I also know that's not the most important thing about music. And 99% of the people I admire as musicians can't read or write music and don't understand modes and stuff like that. Even people you think that would, whether it be Goffin and King or Lennon and McCartney, none of them had any formal music training. And yet those are the two pairs of most successful songwriters in the world. So to me, it's like you can come in at any level. You can be an incredible Michael Garding, incredible, jazz sax player, or you can be somebody that plays G, C, and D. This is everything for all of us. All right, I really like this. The biggest thing for me is get that Aussie battler, is just to get that get that bass to groove with everything, and I think we'll be in a really good place. All right, so we're gonna do another giveaway during Chris Walker's Open Your Eyes. And what do we want to know, Eric? We've done microphone. What I want to do? Guilty pleasure artist, guilty pleasure band. What are you willing to admit? I remember being at, I'm going to talk cryptically, but being at a meeting where people were getting up and talking and all this kind of stuff. And I remember it was really cool. Karen will know what I mean. In LA, like the coolest meeting. I remember there was like some of these super, super cool people, like a lot of punk rock guys and girls, and like super cool. Everybody had like cool tattoos and like was like, and I'm just not that cool. And I loved a lot of the bands, and some of the people there were in bands that I grew up listening to. But I remember when it came to me, a time for me to speak, I remember I just kind of walked up and I went, "Hi, I'm Warren. I like Supertramp." And I just thought I had to do that because I was surrounded by everybody who was so cool. I love I love the Pistols. I love the Damned. I love all of these incredible bands. But I also like Supertramp. Breakfast in America is one of my favorite records. So, ABBA, Human League, Justin Timberlake, love it. Yeah, Tom Jones. So what is the Cowsills? Yeah, my friend, my friend married one of the Cowsills. So the point is like, yeah, what is the band? What is the artist? What's the guilty pleasure band? Yeah, I love Supertramp. They're amazing. You know? Eric, it's up to you. You got to pick what you think is the craziest, left of center, guilty pleasure band. Everybody, Frank Zappa, that's not a guilty pleasure. Frank Zappa's that's the coolest thing ever. Hanson, see? There you go. I love it. All right. Enya, Enya's cool. I love Enya. All these are all cool. Johnny Rotten's not guilty for me. Taylor Swift, I love Taylor Swift. I mean, she's an incredible role model, isn't she? Pink, says Joey. Leon Redbone. That's cool. I love Phil Collins. Phil Collins is on the fence because he's one of my favourite artists. I know he's not cool, but I still think he's an absolute genius. 1975, love that band, says Mika. Michael Bolton. All right, this is up to Eric. Eric's going to... I wonder who Eric probably doesn't know a lot of these artists. He's still in his 20s. He might not know some of these. He might not know. Billie Eilish, Devo's cool. The Muffs, says Karen. That's not a guilty pleasure. That's one of the cool bands. Huey Lewis, says Michael Garding. Yeah, it's probably a little bit of a guilty pleasure, but... Mud, says Peter. Ooh, Mud. Now, MGMT. These aren't Level 42. I love Level 42. These aren't that crazy. Throbbing Gristle, Pussycat Dolls. Oh. Now we're getting there. Bangles. Well, I'm friends with the Bangles, so. It was Vicky who married one of the Cowsills, Vicky Peterson. DJ says Warren Hewitt. That's definitely a guilty pleasure, yeah. You don't want to tell anybody that. Every power ballad ever from the 80s, says Pav. Orchestral music, there's nothing uncool about. Can, who said Can? John Case. I don't think that's a guilty pleasure. I'm a huge Can fan. Mother Up Duff. Scorpions. Ken says none of you have anything to feel guilty about. Spike Jones. Barry Manilow. Ooh, Barry Manilow. He's an amazing songwriter. Poison. Star 69, says Mark Beeson. Adam and the Ants. I'm a huge Adam and the Ants fan. That's my age group. I was a little kid when they were huge. Every kid was like... And music. Till Tuesday. That's not guilty pleasure. Fats Domino, definitely not a guilty pleasure. Kiss is not a guilty pleasure in America. Manilow is a beast. I don't know that. Hot Chocolate, Christian Gilman. Woo! Well, to me, it's a tie between Hot Chocolate and Barry Manilow so far. Hot Chocolate, great band. I think they're the only band that had a top 10 single every year of the 70s in the UK. They had a top 10 single every single year. The Tubes, that's a great one. Journey's not guilty. I love Journey. I don't know. This is a tough one. All right. I'm going to go. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. We'll keep looking. So, Chris Walker says, hi, everyone. Would love to get some critique on this. It's my band. I've recorded a mix with a lot of others. Getting to the bottom end seems a bit problematic. I think this is in the ballpark. Thanks in advance. Okay. I'll let you guys and girls keep going on that. It's first of all, it's a great mix. It's a great song. It is definitely the mix that needs work. It seems really well produced. Like the tones, everything are like really powerful. I think on the whole, we're all sort of saying the same thing. I wish that the snare had a bit more personality. It seems to be revolving around volume and mid-range. Similarly to what we had before, there's a lot of like oing, going, going. You know what I mean? Oh, thank you, Misanthropic Musics. Just here to see how the sausage is made. Not myself. As a sparring producer, I watch the channel for the great bios. Thank you ever so much. We do, for us, it's really important to, showcase some of the greatest music ever. So we love doing those bios. So thank you very much for your donation. Anyway, so getting back to the point, I really enjoyed the production. I think everything is there to make this super, super powerful. But a couple of people are pointing out the same thing. The volume on the mid-range of the snare, it seems like it's loud to help it cut. I actually think the snare will probably come down once you put some like 7K and above and get some more some zip out of it. At the moment, it's very, very mid-rangey. It seems very snare top, very mid-range. He needs a little bit more pizzazz to it. There is some bottom snare in there. That's cool. But I would start by just adding some 7K and above. A nice big shelf of it up here. And you'll probably find you can bring it down a little bit. Now, you could put some, 150, 100 in there as well for some body. But you might not need it once it brightens up. Then it just, I like snares that have a big smiley face on them, but it doesn't necessarily mean they have to. I think it depends on the song. In this instance, just a bit more high-end, a little bit more snap to it would really, really help. Then the bottom end is a little confused. If I go here, for instance. This is a good section to focus on because the guitars feel like they're coming out left, right, center, 40%, 20%. They just sort of feel like they're there. I think in order for them to open your eyes, for that vocal to come across, the guitars need to be LCR'd. And I don't think there should be any center. I think they should just be left and right. To my ears, it feels like there's a lot of guitar like towards the left, but not entirely in the left. So they're not helping the vocals. So the natural thing would be to turn up the vocal. But I think, and that you may have to do that. But before that, I think you should get the guitars left and right, get them wide, allow the vocal to have a chance. I think that down, down, down. Those guitars, one over here, down, down, down. And then you can have open your eyes. That could then be, have a bit of room around it, just be a little bit more anthemic. Just kind of get it out of the way of the center. We chose two winners. So between us. I thought that was a great answer from Hare Lethy, or I don't know how you pronounce your name, Stock, Aitken and Waterman. I think that's a really, really brave choice because the reality is like there was a period in the 80s and early 90s when Stock, Aitken and Waterman wrote, it felt like in the UK or in Europe in particular, and some in America, pretty much every hit. And a lot of it seemed quite derivative at the time. But if you go back and listen to it, like a lot of those kind of bands from that period, artists from that period, like a hit is a hit. And those songs were massive. And like ABBA was mentioned before, sometimes it's okay to be honest and say a great song is a great song. It doesn't always have to have 57 chord progressions in it and changes and name drop modes and all that stuff. Sometimes it's okay, because if you think about the ultimate 6415 song, of course, it's Let It Be. So there's plenty of songs that Let It Be is one of the greatest songs ever written that use, you know, quote unquote generic chord sequences. You know, it really is, you know, it's about how you use it. The thing with Let It Be that works so well is it's got that B flat and it goes down, 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 down. You know, so it steps out and gives kind of a minor feel over the G, you know, just for that second. There's like subtle differences. So I think it's important not to like, for us to pretend that everything has to be super, super clever. You can use really basic stuff. And I think Stock, Aitken and Waterman at the time got a lot of flack from producers as like saying it was generic. But now you go back and listen to it, we would all love the level of success and the amount of great songs they wrote. So I thought that was a great answer. And then the other one was Bucks Fizz. And yeah, Bucks Fizz. I mean, didn't they win or come in second in the Eurovision Song Contest? I mean, you're right. Bucks Fizz was not one of the cool bands to like. So I love those two artists. I love those two answers. That is definitely a guilty pleasure. Congratulations. All right. So with this, Chris, I think get the guitars left and right on those big choruses. Get the kick, snare, and bass down the center. Let's get those vocals up in there. Let's get a bit more personality on the snare, some 7K and above. And I think you need to do a little bit of work on your low end, just a little bit. Like just sculpt that bass guitar. You can have it at below 60, but not too much of it. It's like go in at about 60 hertz and just slightly high pass away. I'm not trying to remove the low frequencies below that. I'm just trying to sculpt it so the kick drum can breathe a bit more in there. I'm going to run to the bathroom, which means you get a joke of the day from Eric von Derrickson. Have you prepared one, Eric?
Oh, no.
No?
Oh, no.
Oh, dearie, dearie me. Oh, Bucks Fizz did win. I couldn't remember if they won or came second. But yes, those are great guilty. Union break, says Leslie. Yeah. You haven't prepared a joke, Eric?
No, I did not.
That's like every Friday.
I know. There's only so many jokes in the world.
There's only so many jokes in the world. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know Eric, Eric is a long-suffering, engineer and assistant and studio manager and filmographer, videographer and editor, and just like me, jack of a billion different trades. So the Nolans, that would have been a good answer. The Nolans, yep. They're Irish Blackpool band. All right, Eric, you're up.
All right. Da-da-da. Hello, everyone. I have to be in a certain position because the camera is like cropped, just like right here, I think. Something like that. How's everyone doing? Happy holidays. This is the post-holiday. Back to the grind. I wouldn't mind an extended holiday though. Eric time, yes. How is everyone doing? I am doing swell. I was out of the count for a bit because I did come up with COVID. I am negative now. I am safe and sound. And yeah, here we are. Back at it. Back at it again. My favorite music genre. It bounces all over the place. It started with, believe it or not, rap when I was little. 90s rap. And then from there it jumped into metal, to Metallica. And but there was always like pop radio on when I was in the car with my parents because they just assumed that's what I would want to hear. It's just the radio. And they weren't wrong. I just didn't know what music was, but I was listening to stuff. But during that time, I just remember Jimmy Eat World and Blink-182 and all. It was like their heyday. So I am into that music. Don't judge me. Love Linkin Park. Yeah, rap to Metallica is a very big jump. And then from there, it's, modern. I think because of that jump, I just like everything in between. R&B. Someone in their guilty pleasures put Ja Rule. Ja Rule is dope. From from Metallica to rap, the opposite direction. Like, it's such a weird jump, but it works. And then like now it's like, you know, EDM is kind of like electronic music is kind of the thing, but I'm just getting into that stuff, even though I'm a little late to that party, but I'm getting into it, and yeah. So I'm jumping all over the place. Yeah, I just love music and good things. There's a lot of really cool jazz stuff too. I'm getting into a lot of jazz, and it's funny because I'm getting into the jazz from the electronic stuff because there's a lot of electronic artists that have a lot of jazz in their music, and it's really really cool. Metallica is rap. Yes. Yeah, Happy New Year, Tom. Happy New Year, everyone. Cheers to the new year. Favorite genre to mix and produce? We've only done, like, I've only done what Warren's done, which here is pop, rock, singer-songwriter, country, whatever he gets. And so that's the only stuff I've worked on. But I wouldn't mind dabbling in the rap or metal world or the electronic world. I'm down with all of it. I want to explore. I've got to explore. But anyways, I owe you guys a joke, and it's gonna be an old one for the Academy members, for everyone that's not an Academy member, that's not used to this stuff. This is the union break. This is Warren uses the restroom, takes a little chill pill. Not that he's actually taking a pill. He's just chilling out. And I'm out here just killing time. And I don't know what to do, so I just tell a joke. And so I've got a huge list of jokes that the Academy members have heard. All of them. And so I'm just going to go to a really old one. This is my first joke I ever told. What did the buffalo say to his son as he was leaving for college? Random side note, this is actually one of the... I probably shouldn't even say this, but on my Tinder, I have this as one of my little like prompts. It's like dad jokes, and I put this one there. And actually, I get replies. Some people leave replies of the answer, whether it's right or wrong. But yes, bison. Ba-dooms. So what did the buffalo say to his son as he was leaving for college? Bison. Ah. That's an oldie, but it's a goodie. Yeah, I know, Jens. I think I probably told that one like 4 or 5 times. Don't eat the yellow snow. Yeah, that is what I do. What I can do, I am the glue of the show. What I can do, aside from that, is I can show you guys whoever's not used to the Academy. I can show you a glimpse of the Academy itself. Shoop. There's the Academy. Oh, there's the dashboard for the Academy. Yes, Melissa. Except I'm not showing any hair today. It was a lazy day. Dashboard of the Academy. This is like the main page. Downloads. In here we have... Well, let's just go to it, huh? I don't have too much time, so I'm just going to kind of quickly go through it. But yeah, we have cheat sheets. We have audio files. We have to update this. We do have to update this list. I know there's a couple of things that are definitely not on here. Samples, we're collecting samples from F. Reed Shippen has a sample pack that he made for us. Like, it wasn't a sample pack around. He just kind of got his samples together, and he was like, all right, cool. These are my samples. There you go, Produce Like a Pro. Ariel Shobaz, hip-hop samples. Matt Starr, he recorded some drum samples in his studio, or it was either his studio or it was a combination of his studio and the drummer is gonna be like, I can't remember his name, and don't judge me on this. It's up there, but my head's spinning, so I can't remember his name. But the drummer from Motley Crue. At his studio, he made samples. So those samples. Oh yeah, right there, the Atrium Studio. That's his place. Matt Weiss has some 808s. Gordon McNeil has a sample of his anniversary Black Beauty. This is one section of it. Tommy Lee, of course, yeah. We actually went there too, and it was so cool. And it was one of those moments of seeing like a person that I never thought I would ever see them ever in my life in person. And so I did meet him for a sec, and it was just like meet him, say hello from the corner, and just kind of like stood there, and it's just like what the F, like crazy random. Courses, you mentioned this earlier. We do have courses from a bunch with Matt Weiss. Then we have some with Adam Steele, who's also here. I don't know if he's still here right now, but he's the Reaper guy. Go to him for all your Reaper stuff. Among all the other recording and mixing techniques, though, of course. We have a course for mastering. Ruth Nichols, who is known as Ruth Trumpets, she made a writing course for us. Addie made one. We have one with Mark Daniel Nelson. We have bass ones. We have string production ones, country ones, all this other stuff. These are all the courses that we're adding more to. Oh no, he's coming back. Quick. We have our Feedback Friday section. We have a lessons section. What else? We have multi-tracks. Oh, your computer died. I'll get you your power supply right now.
No, do all that because I'm going to make a cup of tea.
Oh, cool. All right, we have more time.
Go, Eric. Go.
Multi-tracks. We have a ton of them, and we're freaking adding a ton more. And to be honest, I need to add maybe like 3 more. I forget. It's jumping from one thing to the other because we have so much going on that I forget to add multi-tracks. And Anita is always on me on that. But yeah, we have them separated into seasons, and it's 4 multi-tracks each one. So 26 times 4, it's we're past 100. I don't want to do math, even though it's probably not that difficult, but don't want to do it right now. We do have a live chat that you can open up here, but I'll put it away real quick because that's our chats. You have to be part of the Academy to see the chats. What else? Interviews. Yeah, this is our Facebook group, which is super cool. You got to be a part of the Academy to be part of the Facebook group. And it's just just tons of help in that group and in the live chat. And just everyone here is freaking awesome. And, we're constantly updating this. We're still working on the site. It's still a baby, I feel like, that it's still growing. There's still a lot of space for growth. And with our new members, Lee and Mel, I feel like they're definitely adding something that we've been missing, and like things are just gonna freaking explode in a great way. It's gonna be fireworks explosion, not the bad kind of explosion. That's a quick run through of this. I can't see what anyone's saying because Warren's computer died, and I was using that as his charger's right there. 1 second. See, luckily, we've bought power supplies, and we have them in every corner for Warren. Well, for anyone, but I don't know his password. Frick. Anyways, yeah, we have power supplies in every corner, which is actually a cool tip. I've seen it in a couple studios we go to. It's like a simple thing where they just have power supplies for computers and for iPhones. They don't think I saw any Android power supplies. I'm sure they have them. But in like every corner, there was just power supplies everywhere in that studio, from the live room to, and it wasn't so much that it's just cables just laying everywhere, but it was like in specific spots in the live room for corners. The control room had them, it had the desk, not producer's desk, but that large desk where all the outboard gear is on. That's a good 5 feet behind the console or in front of the console, whatever. There's probably like 3 power supplies, one at each end, one in the middle. And I don't know, it was just something super simple, but it was really cool. Forgot which studio that was. I know it was like 2 or 3 of them, recent ones. One of like the more modern ones that had that set up. So that was cool. So yeah, we just bought power supplies and we're kind of setting that up in corners, doing the same thing. I'm gonna see what you guys are saying because I've got no idea. Connor came in right now and he wants to hear another joke. Do you have a joke, Connor? No. That's what I thought. No, I'm just kidding. I'm running out of jokes. I need a supply. I don't even have any riddles. There we go. Now I can see what you guys are saying. Oh my God, is that how I look? It's terrible.
I think there's one where
Oh, the pop-out went away.
you trash the outside and cook the inside, but when you eat it, you eat the outside and trash the inside. What am I?
Say that again? Do you know the answer?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
When you cook me, you trash the outside and eat the inside.
So when you cook me, you trash the outside and eat the
Eat the
inside.
When you eat me, you eat the outside and throw away the inside.
Oh, okay. So when you cook me, you trash the outside and leave the inside. But when you eat me, you eat the outside
and trash the inside.
and trash the inside.
What was the first part? I only got the second half.
When you cook me, you trash the outside and leave the inside. When you eat me, you eat the outside and trash the inside. What am I?
Wow. Is it going to be one of those? Oh, really? Okay. All right. Just tell us then. What are you, Connor?
Corn on the cob. Yeah, that some of the answers are coming in right now.
Chicken. We are the Eggmen. I am he and you are me. And
Shots of corn, and then you get the cob on the
okay.
and then when you cook it,
Yeah. Well, the good news is that we need to get some lunch, Eric. The bad news is I left my wallet at home. It's the first time ever. So you're buying. Eric's buying. We're going to get Cactus Taqueria.
All right, you can do that.
Lunch is on Eric today. Woohoo! Hey, everybody. They're putting their orders in already.
Oh no.
It is set to live chat. So, God bless it. So we're going to have some Cactus Taqueria. All right. So who's up next? Jeremy. And Jeremy says, here is my updated mix. I very much appreciate your time and feedback. Thanks for listening. Excuse me for sneezing. It looks like Russell got in and gave lots of great notes. Thank you, Russell. So did Ludo. So did Mike. Oh, this is fantastic. So did Mike Desert, as well as Mike Ludo. Wow. And also Mark and Chris and Herwig or Herdvig. Oh, that's so fantastic. I love it. We'll do another giveaway in a few minutes. It looks like... Can I close down this chat here? Do you need this one open?
No.
Okay. All right. And the track is called Not There. Let's check it out.
There I go again, down a memory. Thought I was done with the past. Guess I didn't really know just what you meant to me. Pretended it always lasts. But when I pull that thread, the things I should have said, the time goes so fast. It took too many years to earn these tears, so I'll take the pain because I do it all again. Said, take a sip, take a drink, have a smoke, a little break, but you're not there, and you'll never be again. Take a sip, take a drink, have a smoke, a little break, but you're not there, and you'll never be again. Now that you're gone, and our time is done, feel like I've got to just move on. I don't know how I'm supposed to face today, as every piece of you fades away. But when I hear your voice, and it's telling me so loud and plain, boy, you gotta start again. Said, take a sip, take a drink, have a smoke, a little break, but you're not there, and you'll never be again. Take a sip, take a drink, have a smoke, a little break, but you're not there, and you'll never be again.
I think, like most people here, Jeremy, first of all, every one of us is loving the song. It's an absolutely fantastic song. I mean, I love that melody. I love the chord progression. It's gorgeous. Again, it's worth noting, we do a lot of mixed conversations. There's full mixed breakdowns. There's tons of stuff like that going on in the Academy. But it's not just all about mixing. It's definitely about production and obviously a huge community of people helping each other. And I know everybody talks about we have the best community. No, honestly, we do have the best community. Yeah, it's super important to us. Community is the most important thing. Everything else is kind of secondary, because if you've got people helping each other and supporting each other, it's much better than when you're just like, putting a song up and then, you suck, you're not doing, there's none of that. And if there ever was, it's bye-bye, goodbye. So, Jeremy, I love this. I think we all love the same thing. Everybody loves the songwriting. The parts are phenomenal. It's really just the mix. And I think, like most people are saying, it's like where the high mids are, there's a lot of overly bright high mids. So those need to be controlled. So let's try and figure out why it's just a little bit too brash and abrasive, number one. And if it's doing that with my blues on, which tend to have a bit of a smiley face, that means for many of you listening on some more mid-range detailed stuff, like if I was wearing Austrian audio headphones, that would take my head off, because obviously they are really aggressive well, more aggressive in the mid-range, which is great for many of us mixing that are like trying to mix detailed, orientated stuff. But on a track like that, I'd probably do it. So it could be a couple of reasons. It could be your room. It could be the fact that your room is actually either... See, this is what's interesting. Either has none of that stuff in there, so you're compensating for it, or sometimes if your speakers are overly bright and mid-rangey, people back off and their ears get turned down in those frequencies and they end up boosting them. Believe it or not, one of the most aggressive mid-rangey mixes I ever heard was when there was two different mixers mixing on the same album. And I asked the artist, I said, did you go down and work with the mixers? And they said, yes. And I said, well, what speakers were they using? And I said, who mixed the loudest? And the person that mixed the loudest was the one that had all the really aggressive high mids. They were just pushing them really, really hard because their ears were turning down really quickly. But I would say it's probably your speakers in your room or your headphones that you're using are making you overcompensate for it just a little bit too much. But the interesting thing is the balances are really good. I think the only thing I would work on is relationship between kick and bass. Let's have a listen.
Too many years to earn these tears.
It's just that cymbal wash there is just really, they should just come down.
I do it all again. Said, take a sip, take a drink.
Pitbull Vicious says, tomorrow would have been David Bowie's 75th birthday. Going to dig out my record vinyl collection and start listening in chronological order. Let's see how many days it takes till I finally listen to all of them. Good stuff.
I do it all again. Said, take a sip, take a drink, have a smoke, a little break, but you're not there, and you'll never be again. Take a sip.
Yeah, see, the cymbals are super, super washy there. Probably, Jeremy, what's going to happen now if you're listening with fresh ears and also listening, knowing everybody else is listening, you'll see some of this stuff. Christopher says some kinds of artifacts there as well. Yeah, it might be just those high mids are getting a little gritty, and it could be some of the plugins being used are sort of exaggerating it.
I do it all again. Said, take a sip, take a drink, have a smoke, a little break, but you're not there, and you'll never be again. Take a sip, take a drink, have a smoke, a little break, but you're not there.
Yeah, Acid 001 says they mix at a lower level. Yeah. So, yeah, what I would do is what I would suggest is like, just get in there now with fresh ears and just see if you can kind of just back off some of the high mids and high end boosts just a little bit. And I think what will happen now when you have fresh ears and you're coming back to it, a lot of the stuff we're talking about would just be instinctive and you'll hear it straight away. Yeah.
I do it all again. Said, take a sip, take a drink, have a smoke.
I love that stabs, those scar stab, those kind of like classic, Motown stab guitar parts. I'm a sucker for it.
I do it all again. Said, take a sip, take a drink, have a smoke, a little break, but you're not there, and you'll never be again. Take a sip, take a drink, have a smoke, a little break, but you're not there, and you'll never be again.
I love the choice of verb around that solo with that kind of talk box solo. It's fantastic. Happy New Year, Pim. Hope you're well.
I do it all again. Said, take a sip, take a drink, have a smoke, a little break, but you're not there, and you'll never be again. Take a sip, take a drink, have a smoke, a little break.
If I was to have one global comment beyond the beyond the comment about the high end, is like I wish the bass had a bit more definition. At the moment, it just feels like it's boo, boo, boo. I wish it was like dong. I wish it had some toughness to it. Toughness to me is like 750, 850, 1K, 1.5. That area around there just kind of brings the woodiness. You know, that toughness. 750, 850, 1K, 1.5. I learned that from Dave Jordan working with him. Just like that kind of, he always would add those frequencies to the bass guitar. On the SSL and other EQs, he would just bring in that kind of like, you can have the low end, you can have the 80 blooming, beautiful kind of low end, bringing up some 60 and 40 just naturally without being too loud. Love all of that stuff. But those nasally kind of things give it that some toughness. I would add that to it. That between that and just taming some of the excessive kind of brightness on it, I think I have something great. It's a fantastic song. All right. We'll do another giveaway in a minute. If you haven't already, please hit the like button. Like and share would be fantastic. There's 342 people on, which is absolutely amazing. 344. Welcome, everybody. And just hit the like button would be amazing. And we'll do another giveaway after we listen to Jens. Hey, Jens. Jens Nielsen, the man in the moon. Hey, Jens. I know Jens is here. Says, oh, yeah. Yeah, another song from me. This one is about how the moon missed visitors from Earth. Written, performed, recorded, and mixed by myself. Let's give it a listen.
It's one small step for a woman, one giant fall for this man. You're breaking up. You're breaking up. You're breaking up. Still around, your footprints in the dust proves that you were here. It's been a long, long time since you've been with me. Only memories remain. And at night I see your light. I wonder how you are. Do you miss me like I miss you? You
Yes, Jack Douglas Pierce. Yeah, Jack, just to answer that, Jack always liked the interns that we would have that would have, notepads. If they had notepads and they're writing stuff down, he's like, I like that kid. It was always a thing. Just because when he started in New York, it was like if you didn't have a notepad and you weren't making notes, they wouldn't take you seriously. Wow, Jens, it's absolutely beautiful. Everybody is loving this.
Since you've been with me.
It's interesting, people saying Bowie and all that stuff, all of which I agree with. But what's interesting for me is you remind me of Peter Murphy. Hey, look, Scam Likely's calling me. Anybody know Scam Likely? Wait there. Hi, Scam Likely, how are you? All right, sorry. Deary me, there's always a complete silence on there. I feel bad for the people sitting there that are calling 100 phone numbers a minute, waiting for somebody to pick up. Dear likely. Anyway, moving back. Jens, I really love it. Yeah, I hear Peter Murphy. I don't know if you're a Bauhaus fan. I am.
It's been a long, long time since you've been with me. Only memories remain. And at night I see your light. I wonder how you...
I think somebody else was saying something about the piano. I feel like it could be even more haunting with your voice. So you got the no, making me like no, 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 no. Just even darker and weirder. Maybe like a reverse into it, just something to make it even weirder. I like it. Don't get me wrong, but when the drums come in and everything, it's superb.
Do you miss me like I miss you?
And that is very Bowie, and I do love that panned around.
Miss you.
Renee says it also reminds me of Queens of the Stone Age, Vampire of Time and Memory. Those are good references.
Miss you.
The other thing you could do is detune the piano. So it's just something that weirds it up a little bit more. And then this is superb, by the way, and all my comments are based on the fact that you have something fantastic. I would say by this point in the song,
I guide you home, and I'm always here, though sometimes out of...
yeah, JC's saying maybe add some resonance-style piano processing. See, for me, it all comes from Ashes to Ashes, that boom, boom, kind of like, that Trent does. Dun, 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 dun. All comes from Ashes to Ashes. And I think there was an interview I read with Trent mid-late 90s, where he said something to the effect, and I'm paraphrasing, that Scary Monsters was kind of his whole, I wouldn't say Bible, but was his whole, reason d'etre. That was the reason why he did what he did, that Scary Monsters was like so inspiring. It's, yeah, to me, it definitely goes back to that. So I just feel like Jens at the end here, I just want something different to happen. I love the groove and everything. I just felt like, could something just start getting twisted here? Something go off into a tangent? Sean's likes my Bauhaus. Thank you for the Bauhaus reference. One of the Bauhaus is a neighbor of mine just up the street. Our kids went to the same school. Yeah.
Attracted to you, I can't let go. And at night I see your light. I wonder how you are. Do you miss me like I...
Maybe just mute maybe you keep the guitar going and the vocal, mute the bass, make the drums like small, something different going on there.
And at night I see your light. I wonder how you are. Do you miss me like I miss you? And at night I see your light. I wonder how you are. Do you miss me like I miss you?
Something like that, maybe. Fade it out, but EQ.
And at night I see your light. I wonder how you are. Do you miss me like I miss you?
Yeah, just something that makes that ending. There's a million different things you could do. You could trash it out. You could bring in a reverb and have that build around it. But it's fantastic work. It's a great song. I love all the references. The Bauhaus, Bowie, obviously, on his last album. All of those things are huge, huge, amazing references. All right. So God bless it. Joseph is up next with Delta Blues. Let's do another giveaway. So first of all, there's 347 people watching, which is amazing. If you could hit the like button and share, we'd appreciate it. Thank you ever so much. See if we can get those likes up past 347. That would be amazing. So please hit the like. And what do we want to know, Eric? What would be the question? What would be the question? And this is for a 3 years membership. And you know what? We're going to do, if you're already a member, we're going to give away a lifetime membership. So this is a lifetime membership. And if you're already a lifetime member, which are quite a few people, we will give you any course that you want. No, any 2 courses that you want from Pro Mix Academy. So basically, lots and lots of things. So what is the question? What is the question that we need to know? We've asked about microphones. Guilty pleasure, an artist or a band that that you wouldn't want to tell anybody. And I love that Stock Aitken and Waterman, and I love the Bucks Fizz. Those was good. We talked about microphone. Obviously, you just said that already. What about we always ask about what medium you record in. Let's do that again. That's not a bad one. What medium do you record in? So that means if you use a DAW, which DAW is it? Are you a Reaper? Are you a Pro Tools? Are you Cubase? Are you Nuendo? Are you Digital Performer? Are you FL Studio? Are you Ableton Live? What do you use? First of all, reason. The list is endless. If you're not a DAW user, do you record on 4-track cassette? Do you record on reel-to-reel? Do you record on 2-inch tape? And this is for a lifetime membership to the Academy. If you're already a lifetime member, any 2 courses that you want from Pro Mix Academy. There's no wrong answer. What do you use? What is your medium you record? If you only record on your cell phone, if you're using GarageBand, it doesn't matter what it is. What do you use? Eric will pick at random. And in the meantime, please hit the like button. Please hit like. And that would be really great. And share if you can. I see we have 355 people hitting the like. That's amazing. Keep going. We'll take it all. We'll take all the love we can get. Okay, now we're going to listen. We'll give you a whole song to do this. Joseph is up. Excuse me. Joseph says, hello, Plappers. This is an original I mixed as a collaboration with Compos. The song's lyrics are written and performed by Ryan Lucas, music by Fifus. This collaboration lyrics are in response to requests from a medical team that was dealing with the COVID crisis. The kick drum is an actual heartbeat recorded. Wow. Added to a low kick to the heartbeat. I had amazing feedback from Axel. Thank you. It looks like Dimitriv. Russell helped out. Jeremy. Also Chris Walker, Chris Sutherland, Mike Ladeau. Loads of people got in and helped out. Okay, so let us know. What do you record on? What DAW? What is it that you record on? And please hit the like button and let's listen to Joseph Bransick. That is to win a lifetime membership.
too late, but you're gonna see the light once they're into bed. When will you believe? Does your pride make it hard to conceive? Look, who's wearing the fool's mask now? Curse, plague, fatigue, the freedoms you demand put others' lives in jeopardy. This, I see you, is the aftermath of your unfounded point of view. When will you believe? Does your pride make it hard to conceive? Look, who's wearing the fool's mask now? No. After you go, we will mourn for our loss, but it won't last too long. The survival forces us all to achieve immunity from the ones who can't evolve. When will you believe? Does your pride make it hard to conceive? Look, who's wearing the fool's mask now? Whoa, now.
Wow, absolutely beautiful vocal, beautiful production. I love the change when the strings came in. Was it here?
When will you believe? No.
Oh, it's so satisfying.
After you go, we will mourn for our loss, but it won't last too long to survive.
So, Joseph, is this you singing? Is Joseph here? I mean, fantastic vocals. Absolutely beautiful. There's a couple people saying that they thought the classical or guitar could be a little bit brighter. It could. It could be a little bit brighter. It's a weird one, isn't it? I think that one of the things, and the reason why we talk a lot about a production and not just the mix, is that I like these kinds of choices. Oh, by the way, Mazdor, what did Mazdor use? Oh, Eric, you're supposed to like make notes of this thing. What did Mazdor use? What did they record on? Joseph, oh, wasn't you singing? Well, whoever sang is just sorry.
Ableton Live.
Ableton Live, great. great. Ableton. It just did the mixing. The mix is fantastic. I actually personally like the kind of darker classical guitar sound. I feel like it's a good, it adds weight to it. When the thing about, we talk about this a lot in production stuff. So often you want balance in your mix, meaning you don't want something to be so bright that it rips your head off. Like you don't want like a lead guitar part to come in and be so bright that you just turn the track down. So quite often you're trying to balance things so there's an equality in the brightness, so instruments don't just sort of like rip your head off. But at the same time, you do want to do things judiciously. Like I think what happened here with the classical is keep it dark so that it's a little bit more foreboding. You know, Joseph, the artist that Joseph is working with is choosing to do lyrics which are going to be very like, you know, people are going to like either agree or not agree and rah, 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 and all this kind of stuff. So you want to create some tension in there because he's trying to make a point. It doesn't matter whether you agree or not. That's I don't want to get into all of that kind of stuff. But my point is like you want, when you're working with a subject matter which has an important thing about it, you want to create that kind of tension. And I feel like that's what Joseph did on the mix, is the classical guitar being a little darker makes you, makes you feel like, like, oh, this is more foreboding. So I think if it was prettier and sweeter and had a little top on it, it might take away from this. Sean says Eric needs a notepad for Christmas. Yeah, going back to Mika's point. Raw. It's raw. Yeah, I think it was absolutely fantastic. I love that moment. Let's listen to it again when the strings come in. Such a great moment. I do like it. I think it's a pretty gorgeous mix. Really big fan of the vocal sound, big fan of the singer. Love the reverb on it, the reverb. Really, really great. Really fantastic. Joseph, thank you for showcasing that. And we're really excited, it would be really wonderful, Joseph. And I ask this quite often on the Academy members, if we could get that multi-track to mix. Even better still, a lot of people, I don't know, Academy members know this, but non-Academies don't, is like a lot of the Academy members will do mix breakdowns and show us how they mix the song. We have a lot of those in the Academy as well. So that'd be amazing. If you could break down what you did on that, it'd be absolutely superb. All right, but last but no means least is Magnus. Magnus is an incredible member of our community, as so many are here. Super talented, like Christian, a great musician as well, and many others. Magnus says, I put together a short composition that turned into what I think your brain would hear if you enjoyed a pan-galactic gargle blaster. Yes! Yes! Every day needs at least one Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy reference, at least one. And this is the first of the day. There should be more. Pan-galactic gargle blaster. What is a cat? It is like, it's like a lemon being pushed through. Was it being slapped by a lemon through your brain? I believe that's what it is. It started with the acoustic guitar and then went man and tried to make it as weird as I possibly could. It turned out rather wonderful. It builds and builds and builds to nothing. It's a journey without destination and completely without purpose. That is, without any purpose other than taking you, the listener, on said journey. Magnus, you rock. Mary got in there with some comments. So did Mark. So did Nikki. So did Tim. So did Todd. So did Jonas. So did Jeff. So did Dave. So did David. Wow. And so did Jason. Oh, this is going to be interesting. What a wonderful way to finish off. If you haven't already, please hit the like button. Please share. If you're not an Academy member, join us. We do this every week. It's a lot of fun. And last but not means least is Mr. Magnus Emilson. Hit the like button, please. Share away. Join us in the Academy. And let's have a listen to Magnus. I just wanted to listen to the beginning again. Hey, Mike Desert says, Eric, that you were supposed to put him in this week. We'll make sure that you're in next week. Won't we, Eric?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Sorry about that, Mike. Wow, what a wonderful way to end. It really is a pan-galactic Gargle Blaster. There was quite a few references. I do like that. Who said it? I missed it. This is music that Time Lords listen to relax. I like that too. Yeah, you can't... Any Doctor Who, Star Trek, Star Wars, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy references, I'm happy to hear them all. Absolutely amazing. What a wonderful week. If you're not already a member of the Academy, please join us. Yeah, it's an amazing time. Thank you, everybody that tuned in. Yeah, Mike will make sure you're in next week, Eric. Won't you, Eric? Magrathrian sperm whale. Nice. Nice. And was it then was it a bowl, Petunias, wasn't it? Yeah, as well. Absolutely. Yeah. All right. And Addy mentioned Vogon poetry. Definitely know Vogon poetry. 407 likes. Yep. Hit the like button, share. Come join us inside the Academy. It's been absolutely amazing. What a wonderful week. And I'm excited. We'll do some live mixing coming up soon as well. Next week, we have Inside the Academy on Wednesday, next Wednesday. Emiliano's going to be back, and you're going to be able to download some multi-tracks and mix along with him. He'll be here for a couple of hours mixing, so he'll be doing that. Don't forget to download his multi-tracks. You can mix that. We'll listen to some mixes of that with him as well in the next few Fridays. And yeah, it's been an amazing week. You guys and girls absolutely rock. Happy New Year. Excited to get stuck into 2022. Lots of exciting things are going to happen. Thank you for just being the best community around. We love you all. Happy New Year. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, au revoir, adios, adio, heido, God, I'm trying to remember. Tschüss, auf Wiedersehen, obviously same thing, but yeah, auf Wiedersehen, sayonara, dos vidania. Goodbye. See you all. Farewell.